Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is May 10th, and right now we're looking at the mid-level water vapor loop. Take a close look there at Southeast California over Arizona. That trough and that low pressure system are moving by. I'm actually chasing that storm out here in Sydney, Nebraska. I'm going to drop down into Colorado today, and that storm will be impacting my chase concerns out here. Taking a look across California, you can see as that trough kicks out, another big trough out of the Gulf of Alaska and Pacific Ocean. That thing's going to kind of sit out there, develop into quite a strong storm, but it's going to allow a very strong ridge to build up across some of the Pacific Northwest up into British Columbia. That's going to help warm California up too. There's also a chance for some moisture to actually come out of the east and the southeast, almost like a monsoon flow back across the state of California. We'll look at these details here coming up in a moment. This is looking at the high temperature forecast for today. Look at Sacramento, Stockton, just kind of low mid 70s, Redding 75. But just going to show in this because we do have a warm up coming here, folks. This is looking at National Weather Service Las Vegas here, and check out some of these temperatures that are coming. You can see that warming trend as we go through Wednesday all the way in towards next week here. You can see Las Vegas getting from the low 80s well up into the mid and upper 90s possibly. This is National Weather Service Hanford, and they're talking already about the thunderstorms coming up for the next system coming up here, and we'll take a look at that in some detail also. But know your lightning danger potential out there and whatnot, especially across the higher terrain as these storms roll in over the next period. We'll take a look at that coming up here in a moment. You can see the trough right now. This is looking at North America, Alaska, kind of upper left there, and California down towards the bottom left. Trough swinging through out across Arizona and out into the plains. That's what I'm chasing today and tomorrow. You see the huge trough at 18,000 feet here, 500 millibars, really retrograding back across the Gulf of Alaska, Pacific Ocean. Huge ridge develops over the Pacific Northwest. And notice kind of that closed low there where you see that 573 right over Nevada. And you can see that energy moving back across to the west here. Very unusual track, a little bit of shortwave energy here as we go through the weekend. And that's kind of what that thunderstorm graphic was showing there, as that ridge continues to dominate as we go all the way in towards next week as well. And this is going to include California, as things look like they're going to stay above average temperatures here through the extended forecast. This is looking at 500 millibars in the GFS. We're just going to compare here really quickly. There goes the trough out in the plains. Big retrograde motion of the deep low over the Pacific Ocean. Huge ridge builds. You can see that energy moving, undercutting the ridge, moving back towards the west there and the west coast. But the ridge still kind of dominates here as we go on into the extended at least a bit. We're out towards 200 hours here now, and we're getting out towards Fantasyland. But then the trough kind of approaches California coastline there. We'll have to watch what that one does. You can see it pull away towards the end of the run there. But we're just looking at Fantasyland at this point. But that big ridge, we have high confidence in it. That energy moving underneath the ridge out towards the west is starting to gain confidence as well. This is looking at 850 millibars, about 5,000 feet. You're showing temperature anomalies here, and you can see the below average temperatures aloft here across the state of California. Put that into motion there, and you'll clearly see that huge storm out over the Pacific there, allowing the gigantic ridge to build along the west coast of North America. Look at the Pacific Northwest and in Northern California, well above average there, and across much of the state of California. Some of that energy then tries to move out of the east towards the west here as we go through the period coming up towards the weekend and on into early next week coming up here. But yeah, interesting times. Very unusually strong ridge up across the Pacific Northwest here, and California is going to be well above average as well. This is looking at precipitable water here, and I just want to scroll through this, and you'll clearly see we're kind of going through the back and forth, not too moist, but then look at that moisture start to swing out of the desert southwest back up into California here as we go on into the following week. Something to watch coming up here, and thunderstorms likely to favor some of the higher terrain across the region here. We'll watch this day by day as we get closer and try to nail down those details as we do. This is looking at lightning flash density potential. So we're going to scroll through here. As you go through the afternoon today, you can see Nevada and Utah kind of getting some thunderstorm activity there. Thursday, kind of a down day thunderstorm-wise around here. Here we go on to Friday afternoon. Nothing too bad. Saturday afternoon, maybe reintroducing some of that moisture into Nevada, Utah, Arizona there. By the time we get towards Sunday afternoon, though, you'll see the thunderstorm threat start to include California, Nevada, again, even moving up towards Oregon. And we go on into Monday. It kind of just includes Nevada, Arizona there. Then we go Tuesday. You can kind of see it clipping some of the desert areas as well. Tuesday afternoon shown there, and the potential for it to continue to move out over California through next week. Again, we'll watch that day by day. These setups can be extremely fickle This is looking at 10-day precipitation total, and I want to caution about using models this far out to do precipitation totals because there's likely to be great variability where these thunderstorms do set up. It's not showing anything over the Bay Area or really Southern California as well, but it does show that potential for some of the higher terrain. But still, we shouldn't take this as gospel here. Looking out this far into 10 days, wanted to point that out. This is looking at the diurnal and nocturnal cycle of temperatures. I like to kind of play this one here. So as we go through the day today, you can kind of see that warm up as you go through the afternoon, the 70s through the valley there into the lower 80s for some of the desert areas, much chillier across some of the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada there. Now I'm just going to scroll through and you can see the warm up occur as we go on in towards Friday here. Let's go to Friday afternoon. Look at that warm up starting to get at the 80s for the valley there, and you go overnight and you cool things back down. Computer's being a little slow here, sorry. Saturday afternoon here, look at some of these temperatures back up towards 90 for the valley there. The desert's warming up to the mid 90s as well. And then we go into Sunday afternoon. That warmth will continue as we go through the weekend on into next week. Kind of interesting to watch the diurnal cycle of the cool down and the warm up during the afternoon hours. This is looking at San Diego. You can see nice seasonal temperatures. Bit of a warm up here coming, probably some 70-degree temperatures as we go up through the weekend here on into next week. This is Redding. Check out the warm up coming, low to mid 70s, bouncing back to the 80s and even some 90s showing up here as you go through the extended forecast. So yeah, the warmth is definitely on the return here. Here's Palm Springs as well. Nice warm temperatures after the bit of a cool down here with that trough swinging through. This is Los Angeles down there as well. You can see some, the temperatures are going to be bouncing back a bit, but those coastal areas tend to be a little bit more suppressed, the marine layer and whatnot. Here we go, 8 to 14-day temperature outlook through May 23rd. Look at much of the west is included, kind of bullseye across Oregon, Washington, and down in towards Nevada there, but it does include California through May 23rd. This is the 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook, and you can clearly see that above average signal there, so that's why I wanted to take that 10-day precipitation total with a grain of salt here as we come up, because you can see May 23rd, and you can see that signal down there for some above average precipitation across Arizona, which does include California. So we'll just continue to watch that as we go day by day. We'll get a better idea of what's coming as we get closer to that event. This is a hazard outlook here, and you can see that shaded area across the Sierra Nevada. It does include portions of Nevada as well, even Washington, Oregon. But this is for flooding due to snowmelt here. So just, heads up for that. We are still dealing with this incredible amounts of snow and the snow water equivalent there across a lot of the Sierra Nevada here, and it's just continuing with some of these flooding concerns as we go. And we're going to be warming up here, so the snow melt will continue. This is 3 to 7 day hazard outlook. I'll try to update that and see if it has been updated. It doesn't look like it, but this still stands, the much above normal temperatures for some of the valley areas and the Pacific Northwest there. But anyway, yeah, so heat lovers, it's time. We're going to start getting warm here in the next few days, and potentially even some thunderstorm activity across the region here as that energy kind of moves underneath the ridge in that unique direction from east to west out towards the west coast here, bringing the potential for thunderstorms. So yeah, anyway, we'll do this again either tomorrow or the next day. I'll probably be back in the Pacific Northwest on Friday or Saturday at the latest. And yeah, I will talk to you guys again here shortly, and I hope you guys are liking the channel. Click like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.